Welcome to season 4, The Myth Breakers. Today we have a lovely guest from Mumbai, Mrs. Rashmi Verma. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Hina. The pleasure is entirely mine.
So
Thank
thank,
you.
thank you for your valuable time. And if you could just introduce yourself, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I'm Rashmi Verma. I'm a teacher by profession, and I took to teaching, because I love children, and my favorite is English literature. I love teaching poetry and Shakespearean plays. Like that's about me.
Okay. So it's like the famous Shakespearean thing goes, et tu brute.
Absolutely, attributed.
Okay, so over to you, ma'am. Uh, who else in your family and your support system?
Okay. See, my family consists of my husband, two sons, a lovely daughter-in-law, not to miss my mother, my five sisters, my brother-in-laws, my nieces and nephews, and they, along with my friends, have always been my support system. In whatever um, I went through, they were always with me. So they are my motivators and my support system.
Okay, ma'am. So, if you could just share your experience.
Yeah, I will. I proudly call myself a cancer warrior, inverted commas, cancer warrior, because I really fought with a much dreaded evil and I came out victorious. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer in my left breast in 2013 October. And it was an aggressive one, as the doctor said. They call it an angry cancer. It started as a small pimple, not bigger than a whole pepper. And I, being unaware, ignored it and continued with my classes. As I wanted to finish the literature portion with my grade 10 children, because they had to go in with their prelims. But by the time I decided to get a mammography done, the small pimple had turned quite big. And well, then I went to see Dr. Adkarni, my oncologist at Ambani Hospital, and there I was told that it would be better if I went for a mastectomy, as he couldn't save the left breast. But he left the option to me. Now I was
Okay.
in a quandary. The whole night I couldn't sleep. See, it is very difficult to swallow the thought of one suffering from cancer and letting go of a part of your body, you know. But that was in the morning when I got up. I mean, I couldn't sleep properly. But then, my son and my husband didn't leave my side at all. The whole night they were with me. Then in the morning, I said, fine, I'll go in for a mastectomy. So that was you know, the
It
whole thing
uh,
it was.
it must have been devastating, as you have
It,
said.
it It was devastating, because, I just went in for a mammography and I never suspected that I had cancer because you see, you keep hearing from people, they tell me, oh, it's not paining, it wouldn't be cancer, no, only if it pains and all. So see how the wrong information enters you and then, that turns you into, that you get more scared by it. So when I went for mammography, normally I go to the hospital alone all by myself, but my husband said, I'll come along with you. And when, the radiologist gave me and cancer, like for a minute, um, I suddenly had a dizzy spell, and I didn't know what was happening. But believe me, Hina, after that, I became stoic absolutely stoic. I became numb. I didn't know what to do. My husband said, hey, don't worry, we'll go through this. And then the whole thing started, rigmarole of going to the doctor. And there you see all kinds of patients in the hospital, and you see people with no hair, and like I, at the time, because you don't know anything about it. So you are scared. The word scared is there because you don't know ABC of what is happening. But once you go through it, you experience it. I had to go for my fine needle testing, and then they took the biopsy and they sent it, then that decides which stage of cancer you have, which grade of cancer you have. So it was the third grade, and then, I had to then the doctor said you have to get a mastectomy done. So, but it was very quick, we didn't wait for it. And I remember it was Diwali 2013, 2nd November, and they scheduled my surgery for 6th of November. And how, my sister, my niece, they came, my nephew, he came, and all of them were surrounding me, playing cards with me. Like my mind was not there, but everybody was, I didn't want people to feel, sad
Right.
because of me.
But
So,
ma'am, listening to you also, I can feel the goosebumps right now because you're going into that emotional stage. As you said, you were just numb because this was not what you had, even in your wildest dream, expected.
absolutely, absolutely. I don't like sleeping with lights on. The whole thing, the 6 months that I had, I used to sleep with the lights on, because I was scared to sleep in the dark. Till now I can, proudly tell people that please, death is a myth. But, when you see death from so close, because at that time, the one thing that comes in our mind is, cancer. Oh my God, am I going to outlive it? Yes, you can. Now I can say. But at that time, I was a little scared. I put on a brave face. I kept smiling. But that smile did have that sadness, in it. And the worst thing was when the doctor said mastectomy, it took me time. I mean, sometimes even now it's 8 years. But sometimes even now, when I look at myself, for a minute I feel, oh, then I say, forget it. There are many people who are worse than me. But you do. One should not, see, we are not like, Rajesh Khanna in a movie that, you're happy the whole time and all. No, it's not that. Initially, it's very, very, it's basically, it's shattering initially. But you need to have the willpower, Hina, to go through it. And I'm a very positive person. I said, no, I will outlive this cancer of mine. And I went on with everything. I had a good support system. I had my loved ones beside me the whole time. I was treated like a queen.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful.
I was treated like a queen. And then you won't believe, when then, I was, they did a surgery and then they put me on to cycles of chemotherapy. Now I would like to explain because we hear the
I
word
Yeah, I was just
chemotherapy.
about to ask
Yes,
you because we often hear this word, but what
yes.
actually happens in the process? Uh,
I'll tell you what
yeah, ma'am.
chemotherapy is. Basically, when we heard chemotherapy and everybody, and then there are people, who try to scare you. Oh my God, you're going through a chemotherapy. Oh my God, this person. So your person went through this, that person went through that. I told my husband and son, don't send anybody who wants to tell me how to go through chemotherapy. See, chemotherapy now, in a layman's language, see, I wouldn't know the medical terms, but in a layman's language is a drug treatment. They
Okay.
use powerful chemicals to kill fast growing cells in your body. And most often it is used to treat cancer because cancer cells grow and multiply much more quickly than most cells in the body.
Right.
Now, how does chemotherapy work? When they do their surgery, or if some people, they, first do the chemo, give them chemo, and then do the surgery. So there, they have put a port inside your body. So, every time that piercing of your IV for the IV, and all is not there. And, this chemotherapy, it targets cells that grow and divide quickly as cancer cells do. And chemo works throughout the body. Chemo works throughout the body, unlike radiation or surgery. Which radiation also it targets a specific area. but
Okay.
chemo works throughout the body.
So the difference
But
between radiation and chemo would be again that is
difference, yes,
specific area oriented. This is
yes.
body oriented.
See, in radiation, many people, do get burned by the radiation, but it's just like if it is my left breast, so they would have done the radiation just there. But
Okay.
chemotherapy works throughout your body, and that is the reason why, it affects the fast-growing healthy cells, like those of hair, of skin. The nails become blackish. The hair after, say, between for me, the first I had the first 4 cycles of chemo in a gap of 21 days, and I think just 10 days after my first chemo, I just put my hand in my hair, and just like, and I saw hair coming out. So you have hair, you're totally, like, I was almost bald by the time the second chemo came. Now, there again, is where people do not want to, be seen with a bald head. People go in for, I mean, when I used to go for my chemotherapy, I used to see ladies wearing wigs, some wearing, scarves,
So,
because you feel bad. Everybody, you know, for me, I loved myself, when I was bald. And even now I say, if my hair thins, I'm going to go bald again, because I've had that experience, and I'm going to wear long earrings and, do makeup and all, so that, it will be, it will be like, a nice, bald headed person,
mm,
wearing all kind of jewelry and everything. But this is again when what hits the people. So chemotherapy, yes, it affects everybody differently. For
okay.
me, for me, I used to get rashes. See how it affects the whole body. It works throughout the body, and if you get rashes, and I used to get a lot of itching. So now that shows that the chemo is working. Now we start getting scared. Oh my God, what's happening? Because no, on the positive note, this shows that the chemotherapy is working, because it is kind of, the whole body is responding to it. You get rashes. I used to feel pukish. I was not hungry. I mean, eating had become a pain, but I used to eat a lot of the colored vegetables. They give you a lot of immunity. So
Okay.
whether I liked it or not, you can say, like a prasad, or, as if, I have to have it, every day, all the three colored capsicums, carrot, beans, all the, colored vegetables, just a little bit, maybe 1 tablespoon, not more than that, because that time, your hunger's
But
gone.
are also
Your
there.
hunger,
Yeah.
taste buds are gone,
Hmm.
hunger's gone, you feel pukish. As today at times I don't want to eat and feel pukish. My husband would say, eat, puke, and then eat again. So I
Oh,
had I had very strict, my son, my elder son, oh my God. I had
so
very
it's
strict
like
masters.
for a change, you had been a very good student also, though cranky at times at that point, but
Yeah.
then good supervision.
Absolutely good supervision. Oh my God, it was like, I felt like I was a small baby. But I liked it, because then I was treated like a queen. Whatever I wanted, I got. And the many times, food was brought to me, I didn't want to eat. But then I used to eat. What I thought then, now, see, we don't think about the caregivers, the family, what they are also going through, and they see our pain. Then I thought to myself, no, I have to fight this out. And I'm always a positive person. Why am I being like this? So then I used to eat. I used to eat. I used to finish one cycle of mine and start eating to get ready for the second cycle. Because, if your hemoglobin goes down, if your platelet counts go down, they won't give you the chemo. So you have to have your hemoglobin and your platelet counts have to be that particular thing that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, people don't want to eat. I would like to tell the people who go through this, eat so that, eat wisely and eat so that, your hemoglobin and your platelet counts don't go down. Otherwise, the cycle, it kind of, it extends, They won't do that. So that is very important. So for me, it was basically,
It's like I am right now actually speechless also, but at the same time, uh, whatever you have shared, the information that is very enriching, and
thank
people
you
will
so
get
much.
aware about it because
Because many
these,
people are not aware, many people are not aware, and everybody has a different set of treatment. Like
right,
for me, after mastectomy, I had 4 cycles of chemotherapy with a gap of 21 days each. Then I had 12 sets of chemotherapy weekly. After that, I mean, the medical term, I don't know exactly what it is, but there are stages and they are divided into positive and negative. So for me, it was ER-PR negative, but I was HER2, that is HER2 positive. So for that, they had to give me a medicine known as Herceptin or Herculon.
okay,
So for that, I had to go through another 12 cycles. That was again, so I had 4, then 12, and another 12 cycles. That was with a gap of 21 days each. But during this Herculon, you can go out. So I started going back to my work. I started going back because I think that was one thing for me that I wanted to get better so that I could quickly go back to my children again to teaching them. So, the first one, then I started getting bored. I started getting, calls from my branches, that people are not happy with English, ma'am, what to do. So then, I said, I asked my doctor, I asked my sons, I asked my husband. My doctor said, go ahead, but be careful with the hygiene. So I
okay,
think then I started, So then what I did was I took Friday as my date for my chemo. So that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I had rest. And just 2 days I started. 2 days a week I used to go. But I started with my classes.
hats off to
So,
you, ma'am, for all the courage and the efforts you took. Uh, keeping children in perspective and the education
they see they are my life. They are my life.
must
One thing
be.
I would like to mention for people who are going through this, to the chemos and all. After my second chemo, I had a lung infection. I mean, I used to cough, and I was very, very positive. But that was the time when I would say, God, take me away. I couldn't, take the coughing was so much that it used to hurt me. Then, when I went for my X-ray and all, I had a patch in my lungs. The doctors got scared if there are any lesions in the lungs. Then I was sent to a pulmonologist. There I came to know it's very, very, I mean, like crazy, I would say. One won't think of it. We
Really?
sleep in air-conditioned background. We sleep in air conditioners because we feel they are very hygienic and all. You won't believe this patch was because of the pigeon droppings and the small worms, that are on the body of a pigeon, which through my air conditioner it was coming. So
Oh,
then, every 3 months, even now, every 3 months, the AC is serviced and, it's washed with Dettol and everything. This I would like, to people who are, going through their chemo and all, to be very careful to keep their air conditioners absolutely clean. So now for me, even today, my clothes are not put outside, because even if a bird sits on it, it's not right for me. I'm not saying everybody has a different thing, but I went through this. So I just want to share this, because it was something very strange that happened with me.
I would really appreciate, ma'am, for this sharing because I in my life till now have never heard of it also,
Mm-hmm.
and it never read it also.
Very correct.
Actually,
We never knew about it. We were shocked.
true.
Absolutely,
And
because that was
especially in
really very bad.
Mumbai and all, we see so many
Yes,
pigeons.
yes, yes, yes. So, I mean, like we have taken up their home, so they are taking us up. They're taking their revenge. You can say that, the pigeons. But it's basically, that I would like. I want that. I want to send this message to the people through you. That this is very important to have your air conditions cleaned regularly, especially when you're going through your chemotherapy. That is very
Thank you
important.
for sharing such an important point, which
You see,
otherwise would not have been known to us.
you know what the thing is, that whatever I have gone through,
Mm-hmm.
and Hina, I am blessed, I should say, that there are many people, my students, their parents. If somebody, like, they call me up, ma'am, someone of mine has cancer, we've told them about you, and we've told them, we would love that you. I said, please tell them to call me up. Please come, and if you want me to come and meet them, I'll come and meet them. Like some people were when they were going to the hospital, Ambani. I stay very close, so I'll come and see those people there. So that you can talk, you can see me. And I remember, when I was sitting for my ultrasound, there was one girl, poor thing. I think she was 21 years old, and she was crying. I went up to her. I said, "Why are you crying?" She said, "I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, the second stage." I said, "Hey, I've been diagnosed, you are very young, and don't you worry, you'll be perfectly fine." I got diagnosed at the age of 56. So, I sat with her, for half an hour, and, I talked to her and all, and she's fine perfectly. And, she keeps calling me up, she keeps talking to me. So, I feel blessed.
That's
So
really
what,
that's really a blessing for others also, because in today's world where everyone is so busy, to have
yeah,
somebody who can
absolutely.
actually relate to what the process
Absolutely,
is
and
very
relate in the
heartwarming.
sense, I want to break the myth that cancer means death. It is not that. But I would always tell the women folk above 30, they should get their mammography done regularly. Because there is always a way out, and there's a sure remedy for it. See, now breast cancer is not that scary. Breast cancer is not that scary. Of course, the lung cancer and pancreatic cancer, they still haven't, had a remedy for that. It is a little, daunting, but breast cancer, is not daunting anymore. But I will always say that be aware. You have to do your self-examination. Whenever you're having a bath, just examine yourself to see if there are any lumps. I God was giving me, like the feelers, 6 months back, I you started feeling very tired. Then I think roundabout this happened in October. In June, within 2 months, I lost 8 kgs. But I thought, oh my God, I'm doing my exercises. No, it was all because of this. I still ignored it. I got that, it was just as small as a pepper, but I ignored that. Otherwise, my doctor said you would not. We had just done a lumpectomy, They just take out the lump, and we would have been able to save your breast. So don't ignore, Be
Okay, so
alert.
like
Yeah.
after listening to you, if at all we feel excessively fatigued out or
Yeah.
lose rapidly the weight
Yes,
part.
yes. You must go and see your doctor. You must go and see your doctor. We see, we women folk, keep postponing
Well,
for
yeah, when it
tomorrow,
comes to us, it's like
because yes, because
true.
you see, we never take care of ourselves. We're always taking care of others, and we keep postponing. And for us, tomorrow never comes. And by the time tomorrow comes, you land into a grave serious thing. So don't let it go there. The minute you feel something, you're tired, because I thought, oh, acha, my sugar was not as much. My diabetes shot, you know, when I had my chemo was going on. I had to, they had to start me on, they had to put me on insulin, high insulin. So all this was happened because of my ignoring it. So I would tell people, don't ignore, be alert. If you feel too tired, if you feel, like lose weight a lot, immediately go and see your doctor. Don't wait.
Okay. Ma'am, before I forget, you were mentioning that if at all anyone wants to reach out to you,
Please,
then how should they do so?
I'll give you my number here itself if you want
Yes,
it.
ma'am, please.
Yeah, my number is 98 920 53931. Rashmi Verma. Please tell them to reach out to me. I'd love to talk to them.
So this is for all the listeners that if at all you know that anyone in your family is identified or diagnosed with cancer and they would like to talk somebody who has gone through and won the battle, then here is the number once again. It's 98 920 53931. Mrs. Rashmi Verma. You may drop her message.
I'll
If she doesn't reply, she'll definitely respond.
Yes. That of course is for me, you know. That is true for me, you know.
We can
Another
actually
another
understand.
thing I want to say, Hina, every person's body is different. Don't go by hearsay because you know what happens when you know you are diagnosed with cancer. People will come and tell you, you know, this one had this, eat that, eat wheat, eat this.
Okay, so
Don't listen.
this raises my next question, which came up in my
Hmm.
mind. What is it that you would not like people to, ask you or share with you?
I
Um,
would not like, you know, like I told you, you know, like you know, um I do not like people, you know, asking me, you know, like you know, see they ask very awkward questions, you know.
True.
Anyone in the family had it, you know, how's your spouse treating you? You know, for some people saying, you know, how are you coping financially? Look, cancer is a financially, you know, load on the whole family. You know, if a person gets cancer, the whole family is affected by it, you know. And then people
Absolutely.
start telling you tales of people who have not survived cancer and how terrible they were. This they they are thinking that they're giving you advice, but they're being negative. They need you to be positive, and they need to make you happy. They
Hmm.
have to remember that, you know, the person is going through a trying time. So I was very particular about seeing people, you know, seeing only those people who were positive in their attitude,
Right.
you know. So don't take advice. Every person's body is different. So what has suited, in which grade that person was, what, you know, stage that person was in, what kind of cancer that person had. Some people have a chemo and then they have a surgery. Some people have surgery and then they have chemo. You know, like for me, when I was going through my 12 cycles of Herculon, you know, for that you have to do a 2D X-ray, you know, 2D echo for the
Okay.
heart before, you know, you come for the Herculon, you know. I remember they gave me the seventh one they gave me, and then when I went for my 2D echo, the LVF, it is the left ventricle function of the heart, it came down to 40. It should be 40, 45 and above, you know. It came down to 40. So they said, no, 1 month, you know, we postpone it. Then they gave me the eighth one. No, that time it was 35. The second time it came down to 40. So they said, stop the Herculon. So last three Herculon, the ninth, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. These three I was not given. The doctor, you know, he's very cute. He was like kind of, used to make you laugh. He says, why you so greedy about the last three? Leave it. We don't want to give it to you. Because my LVF, my left, it was affecting my heart. So,
Okay.
and the doctor's advice, yes, the Herculon, that is as I told you, you know, the ERPR negative, but HER2 positive, you know. Many people have positive ERPR positive plus HER2 negative, that is HER2 positive also. So if your HER2 is positive, then they give you this drug, Herculon or Herceptin, you know, it is called, with a gap of 21 days. So the last three I had to forego, and that has a chance of affecting the heart, you know. So there they are very careful. The doctor says before every, Herculon that you take, you have to get a 2D echo done of the heart. So, I mean, I'm giving out whatever has happened with me. And another thing I want to tell people that your hair, you start losing your hair. Some lose it in the first chemo, as I did. Some lose it in the second. But after you finish your last chemo, that is the 4 and the 12. I'm not talking about Hercolon. When I started taking Hercolon, after you finish the last set of the weekly chemo, 14 to 20 days after you finish, your hair starts growing back. So there's nothing to feel, that the hair will not come. And again, another thing is, after if you finish your chemo, you don't come back to normal immediately. Now again, that is a different people, different. For me, it took me quite some time to get back to my normal self. I kept having aches and pains here and there. But, I had started my work, so I became busy with my work. So those aches and pains, were not a priority anymore.
You
So,
have won a big battle. So
I
I'm
have
sure
won a
these
big battle.
aches and pains are very like
They are nothing
they're
compared,
nothing, right?
they are nothing compared, and don't be scared of cancer. You look, you know, look the cancer in the eye and say, hey, what are you doing? I'm going to throw you out, and you will throw it out. You
So
will
it's
do it.
like the journey that you took was a Herculean task itself.
It was a Herculean task.
Since you mentioned the name, so
It
somehow
was,
it
it was, it
struck to
was,
me.
to
Mm-hmm.
fight with the demon. It is actually like fighting with as Hercules, fought with the demon,
True.
we fought with the demon. Because see, and you know what? Another thing is, many people, they don't want to tell others that I have cancer. Oh my God. Talk about it openly. And believe me, I've had very, very positive signs by telling people I've had cancer, whether in India or abroad. The minute you tell them I'm a cancer warrior, the amount of care they take for you everywhere,
Okay,
you
ma'am,
know.
just quickly,
Uh-huh.
at this point, when you share it with somebody, because this is not an easy thing,
Mm-hmm.
sharing part, but
Yes.
once you share and the more you share, does it also help you emotionally, like you become a little more acceptance and become more, okay, this is not such a huge thing. You start accepting yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, the minute you tell people about it, you talk about it,
Okay.
that, you take it in a different way, like you said, can I sit here? All right, this is clean. I hope this is hygienic. I'm actually a cancer warrior. So now you've used that word, the cancer warrior. So here, you have accepted that I am a cancer warrior because I have fought the battle. And that acceptance, the word warrior survivor is not as huge as a cancer warrior.
True.
So you see, so you have accepted it. And all the Ambani cancer warriors, we have a group. And I to call cancer a sophisticated evil, because we are the chosen ones. Why? Because we had the temerity to battle it out. So, we are the chosen ones. And then when you talk about it to others, you're very open about it. And believe me, people, they reach out to you. The minute they know you're a cancer warrior, they reach out to you. They help you a lot.
I'm
That
sure now
again,
by after listening to this episode, you will be receiving lots of, let's say, messages. First,
I,
I would request everyone, if at all you want to reach out, if ma'am is not answering the call, please message. Do a WhatsApp message and guaranteed
absolutely.
she will revert back.
Absolutely. Immediately, I will revert back. Because, and then again, we start, like, my father used to always say, look at the person who has less than you, where health and wealth is concerned, and then you feel pleased that you have so much more, and that is what will give you happiness. And it gives you a confidence, you're content, because you have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, and you can brave any storm that comes your way, because I think there's hardly any family where the support is not there for a cancer patient, the whole family comes out, reaches out. So I don't think there would be any, I don't think I have not come
It will
across.
it will actually also relieve the pressure of the immediate close ones in the house.
Yes, yes,
If there are
absolutely.
people to take care,
Hmm.
like the emotional thing is spread out then, the
the
pressure part.
emotional the emotional part is
Shared,
absolutely
right.
necessary. And they, I think they cherish you all the more. And as I said, they make you feel like a queen. But again, I mean, like when I was in the chemo ward, we had around 20-25 patients in the chemo ward. And I used to listen to people talking, and I used to talk and talk with people. And also there were these ladies, they didn't want to get their chemotherapy. They didn't want it to be completed. Like they wanted it to go on.
Why?
You know why? Because, they would say the minute this gets over, now we have got some relief. The minute this gets over, we'll have to go back to, the work that we were doing, cooking and everything.
They'll miss the
Again, I had,
pampering part.
yes, yes, the pampering part gets over. And
Mhm.
yet I had two, three ladies, who said the minute we go home, we change our clothes, and then, we have to start cooking for the family because there's nobody to do anything.
Oh,
So then, that these are, of course, I mean, of course, there are different kinds of people. I used to
absolutely.
feel so blessed, Hina, that, I was taken care of so much at home. I wouldn't even pick up a glass of water for myself. I had someone or the other doing it for me. Not the helpers, the family members, because no helpers were allowed. When you're going through your chemo, the first 6 months, that is the 4 and the 12, you're not allowed to, like my doctor told me and my oncologist told me, please don't hug people, please don't shake hands with them, don't you the people were not allowed in my room,
Yeah, to decrease the infection.
infection, because
Right.
your immunity is very low then.
True.
So I this is another thing I would like to reach out to people, that when you're going through your main chemos, do not let people be close to you, because you can catch any infection because you're very weak at that time. So you have to be very, very particular about that.
It's like so wonderful to hear all the wise experiences that you have shared, ma'am, because these all are valuable.
Thank you
And
so much,
we
Hina.
wouldn't find it anywhere in the book. That is an honest confession right now in front of a teacher. So
Thank
it's
you
like,
so much. Thank you so much. You know what, Hina? I never read anyone's books, because everybody has a different. So people would tell me, why don't you write your experiences? So
hmm
I told them, I have not read anybody's book. How do I expect people to read my book? I know that's the thing. But you have, I mean, I have used your platform, you know, to reach this message out. And I'm so thankful to you, Hina. And what you are doing is commendable. You're reaching out to people. It's a commendable thing that you are doing. Hats off to you and three cheers to you. Should
I'm
I say hip hip
overwhelmed.
hooray? Hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you
But
so
I'm
much.
really honored and I have become more richer in experience myself.
Thank
Even
you
right
so
now, if
much.
I have to just, scan through whatever you have just said, that is the
Oh,
key
you
point.
will
It's
not.
like,
You are too positive for that. You will not. I have taken everything of everyone for everyone, so you will be perfectly fine. And Hina, believe me, the pleasure is entirely mine. And thank you so much for reaching out to me so that I could. I mean, I hope I have given valuable information to people who do not have idea about what exactly it is, and who are scared. Don't be scared.
I believe everyone will benefit listening to you. That to
Thank
stay
you so much.
positive, each body and every body responds differently. So if
Yes,
you have any side effects after chemo, that is a positive sign that that's what you have also
yes,
shared, that
yes.
yes,
It
the
yes,
chemo is
yes.
working.
It's working.
So
Very
that is
correct.
also very important. And the pigeon part, yes, do keep your.
Yes,
Uh, it's
that was a
again
very strange it was, you know.
true.
Yeah.
And
And take chemotherapy, just as a part of your treatment. Just think, oh, now let this get over with, You will never feel much then.
right, and not to take advice all the
Yes,
time
please.
from people. Just trust your doctors.
And Google. Yes.
Yeah,
We become Dr. Googles.
right.
Mm.
Not to be
Yes,
in one of those categories, but to trust a real doctors who is
yes.
you are doing the follow up and all, who's treating you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Because I think all the doctors, are reachable. At least my doctors are very reachable. So,
mhm,
and I think all the doctors
all
will
the
be
doctors
reachable.
will be
Yes, reach out to
absolutely.
the doctor instead of asking everyone, about their experience and then comparing it with yours. That makes you more
That's a very
negative.
important point, ma'am.
Yes,
What you just
yes.
said, comparing your symptoms with others. That is like
It makes
an
you more negative.
absolutely true.
It makes you more negative, not realizing that probably her ERPR was positive and my ERPR
Yeah,
is negative. So the treatment is different.
very true.
So,
Will not take your time a lot, ma'am, and it has been really very informative and unique, experience you have
thank you
shared
so much.
with so much of positivity and solutions. It's
Thank you
like
so much.
great, ma'am. Please
Thank,
take care, and on behalf of all our listeners and myself, wish you a healthy life and do stay
thank you.
connected.
Thank you so much, Hina. And as I said earlier, the pleasure was entirely mine. And thank you for reaching out to me so that I could share, my thoughts with you. So to break the myth of cancer.
Absolutely.
Thank
And so you are one of our myth breakers, the cancer
thank you.
warriors.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a
ma'am.
lot.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
This was our next guest, Mrs. Rashmi Verma from Mumbai. God shall be my hope, my stay, my guide, and lantern to my feet. Henry V is Shakespeare's most famous war play, and today we have a cancer warrior with us. Mrs. Rashmi Verma was diagnosed with cancer in October 13, which was also coined as angry cancer by the doctors. She always believed in her self grit, trusting the authorities that were her doctors, which helped her to fight the battle and emerge victorious. She proudly calls herself a cancer warrior. It was indeed a long battle with quite a few health hazards, but finally, in 2015, she was declared cancer free. Her willpower, positive attitude in life, support of her friends and family helped her to pick herself up and lead a normal life. There are low moments, yet she overcomes it with brevity. She extends her support to all those who are diagnosed with cancer and would like to talk, ask, or inquire about this disease. She's already shared her number, so if you want, you may reach out to her. Do drop in a message. If she is not able to answer your call immediately, she will for sure revert back. Going through the process herself, Mrs. Rashmi Verma understands the recovery process can be daunting and scary at times. Support from Cancer Warrior can make a huge difference. She is a part of Cancer Help Group associated with Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital in Mumbai. Cancer taught her the value of each moment. Her motto, there are no obstacles in life which cannot be surmounted if you have the will. And with that, she moved ahead in life with mirth and laughter. Let old wrinkles come. She spread the positivity wherever she went. On that note, I end the episode. I thank Mrs. Rashmi Verma for sharing her experience. Hope to see you in the next episode. Till then, take care and be safe. Bye.